Hi guys, my name's Adila. I am the art curator for Trap Music Museum. Today we have Jerell Gantt on display today. We are going to speak with him, talk to him about some of the creative ways that he creates art and his just creative journey. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Yeah, so guys, just a little background. Jerell's an artist based in Atlanta. His work explores black themes of black culture, black history, and Afrofuturism. Jerell studied at Savannah College of Art and Design and has exhibited his work in galleries across the country. His work can be seen in homes of Jill Scott, Whoopi Goldberg, Taraji P. Henson, just to name a few. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about like your journey in terms of like how you started out in being an artist, being a creative.
Actually, I don't really have a start story because I've always had an artistic lifestyle. So even when I was a little kid, I was always drawing, sketching, and that was something that my mom encouraged from a young child,
Love that.
even from 2 years old. At least that's what she says. But
Right.
I don't remember a life before art. So.
Oh my gosh, that's an Instagram quote. I love that. So wait, your mom was an artist too, though, right?
Yes, my mom was an artist. When I was a kid, she actually went back to school for art. So as a little kid, I would go to art school with her during the days that I didn't have class. And I would be sketching and doodling in the back of the class, and her art teacher would come around and he's like, oh, and then he looked at my work, he was like, oh, wait, that's pretty good.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind
A
of my
Star
future
is
set out.
Born.
Right.
So I know you went to school and you studied fashion
Yes, I did.
first, which is why we always see you putting that on.
Well, a little of that lingers.
Well, you know.
That lingers with. I think we're all going to have that type of style, but a lot of that transformed into my artwork later on. But I did have a long, lingering love for fashion, and I still do. But I think the mainstays of those types of uh, styles that I had still stayed and lingered into my creativity, into artwork.
Which is so cool because you transition from fashion to fine art,
Right.
and you can really see it through all of the elements that you put within your pieces,
Right.
all of the different details,
Yeah.
and just the different mixed mediums that you put in there, fabrics, Swarovski crystals,
Yeah.
crushed glass.
I love it.
Just really, really, really cool. Talk to us about like why you choose these different elements in terms of like your medium. Why do you choose
I want my art
elements?
to be three-dimensional and speak and tell a story. My work comes to life when I use three-dimensional pieces, to me. It jumps off the screen, whether it's wood, whether it's crushed glass, whether it's pieces that change colors. I want to give my work a story that's a little bit different just painting on a flat canvas.
Right, for sure. And we definitely. So we've worked with Jerell a few times at Trap Music Museum. We've commissioned you to do a few things. And you worked on the Lotto.
That's right.
You created the car that's inside of the Lotto exhibit. It's big, huge. I think it's like 5 feet,
Yeah.
the car. So when you come to the museum, check it out. It's inside of the glass. And then Jerell was just like, that same day, if I can talk about this, you was like, I want to do a piece.
Yeah.
You literally did a piece in a day, and here it is.
Yeah, everybody was bringing in the beautiful lotto pieces, and I saw my little car in the background. I was like, let me show off a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, I went home, got to work. Fortunately, I work very fast because I know my elements.
I love it.
I've been doing this since 19.
The 1900s.
Yeah, so I know what skills I have and what time restraints I had. Fortunately, I had a couple hours
You just
to
go in
knock
a
out.
zone.
Yeah, and I go in my zone. I put on some Lotto, which I was a little familiar with her work, but now listening to that and while I was creating her work, it made me even more familiar. So it kind of drove me creativity wise, and produced what you see before you.
So when she came, how was it seeing her reaction to your artwork and
It was dope because I don't really get that reaction of the person that I'm painting, and I see it so often. And as an artist, you do kind of feel insecure because you're like, what if I didn't capture it? But then when I saw her beside it, and it was almost like her looking in the mirror, I was like, I got it.
yeah,
I did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a special night. That was a special moment. She was so awesome and gracious in terms of like us presenting this exhibit to her,
Yeah.
and she went around and she looked at every single
She did.
piece,
Yeah, she did.
and just she was just so surprised and just so grateful for just how we honored her
Yeah.
in through visual art.
That's correct.
Tell us about this piece, because this is definitely three-dimensional.
Yeah.
The stare is everything.
Yeah.
The hair is flowing. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
I love her stance, her motto, her aura. It's very larger than life. So I wanted to do something blingy and metallic, which was definitely right up my alley because I always had those materials already. I'm a bling guy. So something very flashy was right up her alley. I was like, okay, let me get to work, add a little glitter, make it a little three-dimensional, just make it as blingy as possible because she was in her bag during that era right there. So I had to transform it onto canvas, and I'm hoping that I did a good job.
Amazing. We love it. Do you have any advice for any artist that, like, what's your best piece of advice that you've probably ever gotten, or a great piece of advice that you could give artists now, whether they're young, old, just starting their creative journey? Like, what did you have to get over in terms of like,
Oh wow. The best piece of advice I actually learned myself is that art is actually a business. We can be immensely creative as possible. But that really doesn't work if you want to sell your actual artwork. So you have to take marketing courses, you have to study the actual art of business if you want to sell your pieces to the masses.
Right, right. And you guys follow Jerell. He is an amazing businessman, as you can see when you go to his social media. What's your Instagram again?
I'm Imitation by Jerell at all social media.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
I always love speaking with you and talking to you.
Yes.
This is like my social media buddy. We like send memes and
Right,
all that cool
right,
stuff.
right.
So thank you so much for last minute doing this interview.
I
And
appreciate it. I got
you
love
know,
for the Trap Gallery.
yeah,
That's
we
why I'm
love
here.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to see one of his pieces, most amazing pieces up close, definitely visit the Trap Music Museum. Our hours are listed on our Instagram, and we will see you next time.